Roger, you're welcome to introduce yourself, and on your mark, I will start your video.
Okay, so hi, my name is Roger Ying. I'm the CEO of Pandai. So let's face it, in China, going to a bank is a nightmare. Investment options are limited. Getting a loan is almost impossible, if not a bureaucratic nightmare. And non-bank alternatives are simply super expensive or usury. Pandai is a simple solution that connects borrowers with lenders over the internet. Lenders get a credit loan, and lenders get a 15% return, and borrowers get a credit loan. So I'd like to show you my solution. First, I'm going to show you how to borrow. First, show how much you want to borrow. Register on the site. It's a simple 3-step application. This application is adaptive to whether you're a student, white-collar worker, blue-collar, or small entrepreneur. And we store your information for continuous use and create a credit profile. Once that, we make a loan recommendation based on your financial situation. You choose the terms. You upload your materials. After that, it goes to our comprehensive credit risk system, and we can make a decision within an hour. As you can see, we're underwriting. Next, I'm going to show you how to lend. Register as a lender. Choose how much you want to lend. At what terms. We provide all the platform stats. You can see detailed information on your borrower. If you don't like the borrower, you can change the borrower. We have all the financial information. You can choose to lend more should you wish. And then you're done. Once that, you go on to payments. And if you have any excess funds, you can go on the wait list, and we'll notify you once borrowers are available. The loan is protected by contract law, so it's very safe. Make your payments, return. You've made a loan, sit back, relax, and enjoy 15% return while making a social difference. So the peer-to-peer lending market in China is a 4 trillion RMB market a year. Credit loans is growing at 460 billion by 2014 at 15 to 20% per annum. Competitors in this space include banks, non-bank financial institutions, and other peer-to-peer lending companies. These companies are either inefficient, a bureaucratic nightmare, charging usurious expensive rates, or just simply not safe for the borrower or the lender, or in some cases both. Pandai.cn is the only company in China that will allow you to build credit, charges fair rates based upon risk, and affords lenders the transparency and protection they need to make an educated financial decision. The team consists of myself. I have 3 years of peer-to-peer lending experience in China. I have an MS in management science from Stanford. A VP of credit is a lead underwriter from a competing company. A VP of technology comes from online banking from the Bank of China. Our VP of marketing has over 8 years of experience in marketing, including 3 years at eBaozifu at epay.com, who was speaking earlier. Our VP of HR has over 20 years of global work experience. And we have an operations advisor who has degrees from Stanford, Harvard, and an MBA from MIT to help us understand and streamline our processes to make the organization more scalable. We've currently spent 1 million RMB over 10 months. In the past 3 months, we've garnered a loan book of over 1 million RMB with 0% default rate. And we haven't spent more than 5,000 RMB on marketing. And we're currently seeking $1 million USD, which will last us over 2 years. Our milestones are to garner a loan book of 100 million RMB, be cash flow positive by October 2013, and expand our credit risk SaaS solutions to rural commercial lending companies from which we have interested clients already. So by supporting Pandai, you're supporting our vision to become China's most transparent, friendly, and efficient consumer finance company. Thank you.
All right, warm welcome of applause. We'll proceed with the jury members. There will be 8 minutes for questions, so please, if any of the jury members have a question, proceed right ahead.
There have been several other such startups in the last... yeah, that's better, thanks. So there have been quite a few such startups, right, in the last few years that are trying to do something relatively similar, and one after the other, especially in the last few months, they've started closing down.
Right.
After several years of effort. Why do you think this is the case, and what are you going to do differently not to have the same fate?
Right, so this is very interesting. basically what they're doing is a herd mentality. And what's happened in the market is they've copied Western business models like Prosper and Lending Club. Prosper and Lending Club are not profitable in the US. Prosper, the difference between them is that they don't have, in China, what they're doing by copying them, they haven't understood that they haven't built in-house credit risk services. So it's not safe for lenders. I've been part of a peer-to-peer lending company that has been profitable and is going to become the largest in the world. It's called Credit Ease. And we have a very different business model to those other smaller websites because we're pricing on risk, we're taking risk, which means we can charge more from the borrowers.
To run that business in China, the first question people ask is license. How do you get
Right.
that?
So it's fully protected by contract law. Mingjian Daikwan peer-to-peer lending is fully legal. You do not need licenses to operate in this market as of yet. We know all the financial structures to not need a license, but should we need to get a license, we know the avenues and financial structures to do that as well.
I am pretty sure you need a license. If it's a company, you want to get VC money and eventually go public. If you want to run as a private business, plenty of people do that in Zhejiang, and they lend, at 20%, 50% rate.
Right. So one example of this was Credit Ease in the market. They operated with no licensees, and they were backed by Morgan Stanley and KPCB.
I believe they have a partnership with banks, with
Right.
lenders who do that. So they actually don't do the financing themselves. The banks do. They just get the business for them.
No. It's actually peer-to-peer, and actually it was the founder who was lending out his own money and then doing loan transfers. And they were operating fine and was under Mingjian Daikwan law. And as well, when Haha Dai last year failed, actually the PBOC came out and said Mingjian Daikwan is fully legal, and they said we are along the lines of government policy in China, and it's they actually want to protect this part of the economy.
Okay, but we can put that aside.
Sure.
Next question would be, how do you analyze credit risk?
Right, so we've studied, I've seen what works in China, I've studied Western practices such as FICO, PRBC, I've seen what works in South Africa and India, and we've created a model together and put it together to make it a more streamlined process. It's a mixture of offline, aided by online technology, and we make credit decisions upon that. So.
Most of the data, the people come to you to try to lend money.
Right,
they don't have much data available online for you to analyze. So how do you analyze their credit risk?
Right, so we have the expertise. We have the lead underwriter from a competing company who has over 3 years of experience and kept default rates below 1%.
How much loans have you made so far?
We've made over 30 loans. 0% default rate.
Average size, what is the total size of the 30 loans?
30,000, 40,000.
Got it, thanks.
So I got a question on the business model side. I understand some companies want to take a cut as the commission per transaction, and some other companies go with the advertisement model where they charge for the search result or listing. Which one do you want to go with?
We take a straight cut from the platform fee from the borrower, actually, and it's priced upon risk, and we charge different rates depending on the result of our credit scoring.
What I've heard is the fulfillment rate has been pretty low, by average under 3%, which means 3 transactions really went through out of 100 initial leads. Right,
so we actually have a very stringent credit risk system because we're actually protecting defaults on our platform. So with these 30 loans, we've probably had over 200 applications, of which we filtered down to decide who's creditworthy and who's not creditworthy. People who are creditworthy benefit from being on the platform because it's the only destination in China to build credit. And you might be a C borrower now, but the next loan you might be a B borrower, which directly is a direct benefit for the customer because it means his loan is going to be cheaper the next time.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
How do you intend to market the platform? I think you just started this. If you're talking about 30 loans, it means you basically just started, right? The volume is still negligible. It's not even a statistical sample. So how are you going to market this, and how are you going to overcome the very logical, reasonable skepticism that you're going to meet from users in terms of entrusting the platform? How do you intend to go about doing
So
that?
from the borrower side, it's we do a combination of online and offline marketing, direct sales, which has been very effective. Our customer base has been 50% online, 50% offline. On the lender side, we provide the protection as well as transparency for the lender to make an educated decision. So we don't hide anything in terms of what the default rates are, what's in the risk fund, etc. And we hope to educate the market to make them understand the ecosystem, that we've got nothing to hide, and make an investment. So some lenders have they lent out 100 or 200 RMB. Some of them now have 8,000, 10,000 RMB on the platform, because every month you're getting your principal plus interest back. And then one of our next steps is to create a loan transfer function so you can have the liquidity you need when you need it.
How many page views do you have per month now?
How many?
Page views.
We have about 2,000, 3,000.
All right, with that, I would like to thank Roger Yin.
Okay, so my name is Nick Farina. I am one of the co-founders of JetSet. We are a New York-based company, and we're excited to be here. So on that note, let's get the demo going. So the heart of JetSet is your itinerary. We have everything about your trip, from flights, hotels, rental cars, and more. Similar to TripIt, but we've decided to design it in the most elegant and user-friendly way possible. And the other part of this itinerary is a social element. So you can add photos, you can share videos, we can actually show you who else is traveling with you on your flight that you don't know, as well as current friends from your existing social graph. We also have features like currency conversions, translation, so every value add that you would need to help your trip go as smoothly as possible. If you need a hotel, we have a hotel database within every different city. So moving on from the itinerary, we're going to go to your profile. Now, your social profile is the heart of your social experience on JetSet. And we source information from your existing social graph, but we define it and kind of refine it to make it best for travel. So here's one example. We have a wish list. And we're going to go to the next page, which is where your friends have been in the world. So within one interface, you can see all of your friends' upcoming trips. And you'd be surprised, or maybe not, how often your friends travel and all the interesting places that they go. And here's another view of it on a trip dashboard. So within one click, you can add something to your wish list and say, I'd like to go there. This is particularly valuable for travel advertisers because they always want to know where it is that they can most effectively market to new customers. And this actually is a sneak preview of our new UI and UX design. This is not live even out of beta yet, but we've had information on the left, which allows us to add as many possible features while still keeping the organization as clean and neat as possible. We're also adding something called travel circles, which working title. But the idea is if you have trip information, you can decide who you would like to share it with, whether it be friends, family, or whatnot. So that's the end of our brief product demo. So the idea behind JetSet is that travel needs help. You know, travel is not the best industry in terms of user experience or design. And when you travel after you book a trip, and I do want to make it clear that we are not a booking engine. After you book your trip, though, you generally have three needs: organize, socialize, and stay informed. You need to organize all of your plans. So you have your flight, hotel, your rental car. You need to know where you're going and when, as well as confirmation numbers, times. Socialize, you might want to meet new people, you might just want to meet your current friends, or you might not want to meet anyone. But there's generally a social element to most trips, and we help facilitate that too. Finally, stay informed. And stay informed has your basic things like weather, flights, updates. But also there's things about stay informed that have yet to be done. Like, for example, one thing we're working on is called seat alerts, where if you would like to get two seats together or somebody get a better seat on the aircraft, we can tell you the minute that seat is going to open up. And right now you can do most of these things, but you're going to have to do it with about 10 to 15 different travel applications. That's not the future of travel. The future of travel is one single unified virtual travel assistant that is an indispensable companion that you can have on your pocket and on your computer. And that is what we're trying to build. And this also goes into competition. Right now in travel, it is a noisy industry on the bottom. But the thing about travel is that almost all travel products released, and don't ask me why, they don't offer immediate value from day one. Maybe you can sync with Facebook and ask your friends for recommendations, or you can get recommendations on a hotel. But the value there is not immediate. So at least on the startup side, we intend to compete by offering immediate value, whether it be organizational, social, or informational. You will have immediate value from day one. The second thing where we compete on is user experience. And this goes into more how we compete with more established competitors such as TripIt or the online travel agencies. And user experience in travel, again, is one of the worst industries, in my personal opinion, especially as a traveler. So we have a full staff. One of our founding team members is a designer. And we take great care to make sure that our user interface is the best it could possibly be. Finally, who is the team behind this product? Myself, I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. And started a number of companies, my latest being a successful advertising agency, which is still around. We actually invented search optimized video. But most importantly, a frequent traveler. Been at 26 countries, 100,000 miles a year in airplanes. I understand the problems and the pain points that frequent travelers face. My co-founder and CTO, his name is Kiran. He has 10 years of technology experience. He's one of the top employees at Sprint Nextel with their Employee of the Year award recently. And our design director is Joe Raza. And, Kiran, by the way, also is a frequent train commuter. And Joe Raza, our design director, came from Walgreens, where he's a lead designer on their iPad app. And has had many years of digital design experience, including at Orbitz. And the last thing I'll note is our advisory board includes the founder of Flyer Talk, one of the first 10 employees at Orbitz. I see a smile for Flyer Talk there. And also the former CEO of Holiday Inn. So in summary, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make the travel experience better for frequent travelers. And I'll leave it at that.
All right. Thank you very much, Nick.
How do you want to charge for, or how do you want to monetize your product?
Sure. So there's 3 ways to monetize a product. The first way is by charging an elite account per year for tentatively about $60 a year, and we'll offer upgraded features. So I mentioned Cete alerts. You'll get a bundle of free Cete alerts. We have partnership discounts. We just working a deal now with GroundLink. We can get 10% off a number of rides, so on and so forth. So that's the elite account. The second one is targeted marketing and advertising. So, for example, I gave the wish list. We had a large travel conference recently, and the one thing we heard from almost everyone was, we really want to know where people travel, because travel, the big pain point for the industry, is they're spending millions and millions of dollars on SEO and SEM, selling to people when they really want a more targeted, quicker way to be more efficient with their ad dollars. As we get critical mass, we will have this. And the third, also relates to exit strategy, data. We're collecting a tremendous amount of data, and this will help the user experience because we'll know where people want to travel, what type of food they like, so we can make it more intuitive. At the same time, both from an acquisition standpoint and from a monetization standpoint, that data will be of great value.
This product kind of should be for me. I'm traveling a couple 100,000 miles a year, and so
right.
I'm an avid flyer talker and have way too many status miles and cards with all different airlines. But I think it's generally very difficult to get people to switch. So I'm on TripIt. I pay Expert Flyer because they have a little more than just seat alert. They also have award alerts and stuff like that. What's your strategy? What's the kind of the aha moment where you kind of really solve a pain point I have that I'm not currently solving with, granted different apps, but users got used to the apps they have. They might use Twitter or Foursquare, or actually my TripIt is publishing my travel to my LinkedIn graph, and so then I get people already email me and say, hey, we should meet up. So I mean, it's good to have everything in one product, but still making me switch. What do you think is the one best killer use case you have that I don't really get covered at the moment?
Oh, sure.
Yes, can I add just a very, very complimentary question? And what's stopping TripIt the moment you launch something that does make sense and looks good from just adjusting their product to something that looks like yours, since you'll prove that something else works well, and what's stopping them from that?
Sure. Well, one word: concur. They were bought by a billion-dollar corporation, and they have not released any new features in the last year. As a matter of fact, they have reduced features. I actually know the founder of TripIt, Greg Brockway's a great guy. And Greg would be the first to admit, number one, that they gave up on social because social was not important to them. And then that will tailor into your question. Social is the killer here. There's really 2 killers. The first killer is having everything in one. And I do believe, as a frequent traveler and the people that I've talked to, that if we have that app that has everything in one place, that will be a killer use case if we can make it really work. And we're integrating with people too. Expert Flyer, we're partnering with them. We're not trying to compete with them. They're happy, we're happy, everyone makes money. So by partnering with the ecosystem as opposed to trying to outdo everything will allow us to create a continued revenue stream, but also it'll create that aha moment of, wow, this really is the only travel application I need. So I think that's one of them. The second one is social, and that also speaks to larger companies trying to compete with us. I've gotten to know the industry over the last 2 years. We've been working on this in various forms. And social is something that the industry is scared of, but it's something that people want. So there is very little chance that TripIt or even larger companies are going to integrate the social features that we have, which are much more sophisticated than simply publishing to a LinkedIn profile. I mean, we're integrating with Facebook, we're integrating with Twitter. So I think the social side of things is innovative, and that's going to really help us get and stay ahead of the game.
Thanks, Nick. No further questions?
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Nan. I'm the founder of InStreet. So what is InStreet? Okay, so InStreet basically is the essence for image platforms. So we are not talking about advertisement should be delivered using image formatting. We're talking about converting existing image online into ad space. Okay, so why do we do this? Okay, many machines keep talking about sending right products, right customer, right time. So what is the right time? Okay, for example, this is when you what kind of sunglasses she's wearing, right? However, in the past, the consumption pattern is going to be stopped there because you cannot interact with a static image. Right now, things are different, okay? When you mouse over image, you are going to see various type of text. Okay, this one is a merchandise text. This one is going to show what kind of earrings she's wearing. If you click it, this will lead to the merchandise website. And this one is going to show the latest microblog posts of the persons, okay? And then the next one, we are going to show the Wikipedia information, basically the Wikipedia information of the background, the person, the event, so on and so forth. We have much more social apps than this, okay? The next one we are going to see is another one called the social shopping text. This one basically will enable you to link to those persons, share similar interests as you are, so that it will be much easier for you to find the products you want. And then the next one is going to be the social sharing text, okay? To realize all this, publisher just needs one line of code, okay? Just as simple as that is one line of JavaScript code. And our system is going to recognize what kind of objects inside the videos or inside the images through object recognitions. This one we're going to find out whether there's a lady inside, how old she is, so on and so forth. We can also find out whether there's a car inside, what type of cars. Okay, we're also going to use the image search technologies to try to find out most relevant products for images. Okay. So to summarize, InStreet basically is essence for image platforms with one line of code. Publishers convert their existing images into interactive components, including but not limited to the advertisement, social sharing, social shopping, and then Wikipedias, and so on and so forth. Okay, now let's talk about market. So what kind of market we are going after? Okay, everybody know, I hope you're already aware. For Facebook, right, last time people estimate each month there are 60 billion photos get uploaded to Facebooks, okay? And by February this year, for the P-Interest, they get more than 10 million users. If you believe image is the center of the world, okay? If you believe image has become one of the key channels that consumers use to access information, then you should believe in the essence for image. Okay, the market size of SF image is related to two markets. One is the B2C market in China. It estimated to be 450 billion RMB this year. It's also related to the advertising market, which is estimated to be 60 billion RMB this year. Okay, and for the teams, actually I'm the CEO of the teams, and I'm a very atypical entrepreneur. I stayed in academia for too long. I went to stay in 1998, received my PhD from University of Texas. And before I graduated, I worked for Capital One for 3 years. Then after I graduated, I worked for 7 years in the academia side, for both in the Singapore side as well in the US side. Wrote tons of papers, okay? And the papers actually some are published in very good place. However, for me, I always try to I'm passionate about building systems, and I really like real life problems. So here I am, okay? So the team is also composed of actually expertise from different areas whose skill sets complement each other's. We have, in total, the team writes more than 100 papers, and we have experts from machine learning side, image recognition side, and so on and so forth. From the funding side, we have raised like $600,000 US so far, and in the past 10 months, 70% go to the R&D side, 18% go to the hardware, software, networking, and 12% go to marketing and sales. And for this round, we plan to raise around $1 million US, mainly going to be used for two places. One is the sales, and the other one is acquiring medias. And we already reached agreement with Sohu, and also already test this product with iPhone. Both are the two of the best portal in China. Okay, so we're looking for testing our system in a large scale and with a large scale operations. Okay, that's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nan. We'll proceed with the questions. Or Cete will start again.
I mean, this is a very good topic to be working on, that you're currently working on with the rise of Pinterest in the US at least. You see that, you know, social discovery for finding things to buy is a very visual process at least. I mean, people like to browse through pictures and then find out what to buy there. So I definitely like kind of the problem you're tackling. I've seen some companies in the space, you know, from Israel and other very innovative countries. How are you doing it kind of to recognize the object? I mean, do you just recognize brands, or do you have to have every object that you later on want to recognize somehow be kind of analyzed first manually to then later on find it out?
Okay, actually, there are a couple of companies in the U.S. Actually, we count in total we have 5, right? Like Gum, you know, Luminate, you know, right? Active, Stipate. And actually, both Stipate and also Gum and Luminate, they are doing great. And for their technology, they are pretty much count on the crowdsourcing. And even though they claim they have some kind of image recognition technologies, for us, we first step actually we have various type of classifications. So for example, we can find out whether there's a lady inside, whether there's a man inside, how old they are. We can find out whether there's a car inside, what type of car. We can find out whether there is, for example, there's a camera inside. However, if you're talking about the brand, unless one brand really looks quite different from the other brand, actually it's sort of really hard, okay? So right now we can recognize more like 95% of our image can really be sorted out using this tech called computer vision technologies. Then we build another actually streamlines. Basically, those guys cannot be recognized. Also, those pictures with very high traffic were sent to a human process. It's going to be like factors, okay? It's very efficient. Pretty much you can basically talking about like 2 cents of RMB, you can sort one image out. So we are not saying we totally solve the problem. We're just saying from a practicality perspective, this is useful right now.
I would imagine you need some image processing technologies to identify the objects and then tag it and then link up to the leads, right?
Right.
I have talked to a few companies doing the similar image processing technologies. It sounds like none of them has been good enough for commercial purpose yet. How accurate are you guys now, and how do you see it grow in the next couple of years?
Okay, a lot of time actually depends on the requirement on the advertiser side. For example, when we're talking about car dealers, right? Actually, for us, and we can recognize for the car. If we use, for example, if you use 1 second to process the image, the accuracy is about like 95%. But if you're saying this is too slow, you want to use it only like for a few seconds, a few milliseconds, then the rate actually going to like 60%. We are not saying this technology really applies to all kinds of, for example, objects. For example, the clothing. Some people are saying, okay, I like this clothing. You find one very similar to this one. Then I say, define your similar, right? Whether it's color, it's shape, or all these kind of things is going to influence the final results, okay? So we're using a lot of like we call the engineering approach and building more than like 40 million products. Actually, we already built these things we believe is practical right now, okay? But we are not saying this one apply for all kinds of products you mentioned. For example, when people want to find out whether this is prototype bags or this is Gucci bag, we told them, sorry, unfortunately, we can't find this one out, okay? This one must be determined by human beings.
So what is your business model? Your business model, you will sell this technology to some advertisement company. They can use your technology to provide service, or you want to provide a service and to.
No, actually, the model right now is AdSense for image. So we are AdSense network. Okay? So basically, it says that advertiser give ads to us. We put your ads over the internet. But the place we are different from traditional ads is that we put this one on the medias. Okay, that's the only difference. But certainly, if we do not have enough capitals right now to survive, we have another business model. We become a technical enablers. We're talking a couple of very big media right now. We convert the existing image into ad space. So they are going to sell the ads. We are going to get a chunk of their revenue, after that. So 2 ways, okay, both ways. One is we cover the whole value chain. The other one become a technical enablers.
Yeah, the second model is more interesting to me. The first model seems much harder. For your current pilot testing with iPhone and Sohu, what exactly are they testing right now? Are they testing images in their own editorial articles, or are they testing on blogs or user-generated content?
No, actually, it's more on their own existing content, right?
Because more easily identifiable.
Not like that, because the purpose of this one is really convert their existing images, right, into ad space, right? And also on the social journey, for example, if you're talking about UGC content, even though they want to monetize, but however, sometimes they have some kind of concern because user might not be happy. So they are more focused on their, for example, the image inside their, for example, the image in their news, right? Or the image in their picture channels, or the image of their furniture channels. Right.
And so what's the conversion rate you're getting for them?
Okay, actually we're testing this maybe we talk about B2C, actually is a much better conversion. For the B2C, we're testing with, for example, the Vivian is a brand name of the muscles. I can't disclose the exact number, but I can only tell you the conversion rate based on this small scale test actually is much higher compared to traditional ads. But whether this thing is really going to be replicable to all kinds of products, we don't know. But however, we believe actually...
Can you do better than 1%?
You're talking about the final conversion, so after click and then how many buys, right?
Yeah.
Actually, we are, based on my number is about almost 1%. Actually, it's higher than, I can't name the company, but basically it's one of the best guys in the areas. They told me.
Yeah, you do 1%, then it's a lot more interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
But still, as I said, this is based on small scale tests, and whether you think this is replicatable to all kinds of products is up to you, right?
It's not easy. We're an investor in Mogujie. So it's a very different model. It's basically that people who sell stuff on Taobao to post photos on their site. And then if you like the photo, you go directly to the Taobao site to make purchase. So it's a different way. Less technically innovative than you, but very effective because it's fit for China.
Yeah, because segments, right? They get the idea, customers are there right now.
Correct.
Right?
All right, with that, I would like to thank Nan Hu.
Scholar Cloud is not an idea or a product we plan to launch in the next 6 months. No. Actually, we shouldn't be playing the video. Sorry, Anthony.
You want to put it down?
The video is not right now, yeah. It's a product that we launched about 1 year ago and which already helped 80 schools to manage a school with more than 40,000 students. So right now, a quick demo with the video this time. Can we start over?
Of course.
Thanks. So here I'm logged in as a teacher. I can see all my classes as cards. I can see the number of comments, number of documents, and I got a quick overview of my students. If I click on comments, I arrive in the social part of Scholar Cloud, which is the class life. Basically, I'm a teacher, and I can send some file to all my classes. All my students will be able to connect and see that online. I can also answer their questions or upload some documents. I can see my schedules, so it's not very clear here, but basically I can check whether I'm a substitute teacher for an absent teacher. I can also prepare all my classes by going through the documents my school curated for me. So here I'm browsing some files, and I can choose either to see the documents, comment on it, share it with my class, or download it. Here I can share it directly, really easily, in one of my classes. Here I'm logged in as a student. I can see the same part, the class life. I can maybe do my homework directly online, depending on what kind of activity my teacher gave me. I can also check all the documents the teacher sent in order to browse them from my home. We also got an iPhone app which allows the students and the teacher to stay connected with their classes and to check the calendar profile or maybe the news of the school. So finally, how do we give access to all that features? I'm a manager. I'm just going to create one class. This one class, I will define its schedule. By clicking on a schedule, I will be able to define which day, which classroom, and which teacher. And the system will, in a smart way, give me which teacher is available for what schedule. I will be able to print statistics, some nice sheets, and some, for example, the grades of the students will be sent to them by email automatically after an exam. So that's it for the quick demo. So this demo was made from an actual customer of Scholar Cloud, with their agreement, of course, and it's fully built in HTML5 app, so it doesn't require any installation. And if a school wants to start using Scholar Cloud, it's really easy. They just go on scholarcloud.com and register, and that's it. The pricing is also really simple. It's $0.79 per student per month, and the first 100 students are free, so they can test if the software is good. Speaking of which, at the beginning we knew our software was good, but we wanted to check how good it was. So with our IT school and our 40,000 customers, students, we were able to run some statistics. And we found out that on the average school of 15 administrative people in the school, Scholar Cloud allows a time saving of 20 days per month of work. It's basically like an employee, except it's cheaper. So now about the market. The market. Scholar Cloud can be used in any school, university, college, or training center. Basically, any school can use Scholar Cloud just by going on scholarcloud.com. And the school which already use Scholar Cloud loves the product. But right now, I'm pitching today because we want to raise some money. We are seeking to raise $250,000. So what for? As I said, the market is really big, but we are still really small, and we need to more actively promote our software. So we need a stronger sales team with a stronger support team in order to integrate Scholar Cloud into the workflow of the schools. We will need some high-profile developers and designers. In order for everybody to work closely together, we will also need a bigger office space. We also plan to participate in some educational exhibitions. I think that's it for Scholar Cloud. If you get any questions, please.
Thank you very much, David. A round of applause for him, please. And we will proceed with the questions.
What is the feedback that you are getting at the moment from schools? For me, it is very, 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 very difficult to imagine that there is a one solution fits all in the education sector for a back-end system that satisfies all the different criteria. Most of the schools, I would imagine, have very specific requirements, different requirements, that like a lot of customization and so on. And this least common denominator that can come out as a platform, in my mind, is almost impossible to satisfy anything but a very small segment of schools. Well, I mean, you haven't operated it for a full academic year, if I'm not mistaken, so far. So what's the degree of customization requests that you are getting now from the schools?
You're right on the point that every school thinks they are different. In the end, there is a lot of common denominators. There is a class which is students plus a location plus teacher or teachers. Scholar Cloud is really flexible, and right now we got 80 schools and none of them work the same. So we build the system so it's really flexible and really simple to manage this adjustment depending on the school. So I agree, maybe it's not fitted for a gym, for example, not yet, but we can work with some teams in order to implement their requirements. Actually, we learned a lot during this year because we added a new features specifically for some schools. And those features were used by the other school afterwards because they realized, hey, that's the thing we need.
I mean, I think this is somewhat of a crowded space. I mean, there's a lot of school management systems out there. We've looked at a bunch of them, and sales cycles in this industry are difficult. Schools are not the most tech savvy. Typically, they don't necessarily in a self-serve way go around and find a solution and have someone that is somewhat computer literate enough to set you up. So typically, at the beginning, there's a lot of hand-holding. You have to onboard the schools and So are you sure you have what it takes to beat the bigger, better funded companies in there, especially also depending on which countries you want to serve. If you want to serve kind of US schools, for example, you have to be COPA compliant, that there's no dirty stuff happening with emails to young students, and all these other legal requirements that you might have. Did you what's your go-to market? How do you think your sales team will crack that nut?
Actually, I know that what you say really well, because I used to work in the largest French education network as a computer engineer and as a manager of their existing software at that time to manage the students. And when we try to check for other better software, we didn't find any that fulfill all the requirements: modern, simple, flexible, and not expensive. So, depending on the market, we are still not on the North America market, but we are well implemented in South America. There will probably be a lot of regulation, like for you say, if we want to enter the K-12, I think that's K-12 market, we will need to check a lot of regulations. Same for Europe. They got, a lot of privacy policy. We need to adapt to those markets. But right now, the company is Hong Kong based, and it's up to the school to decide to use the software or no. So.
It's impressive that you guys got 80 schools to try your service with just one person. So, good job. Where are these 80 schools right now?
There is a lot of China, but none of them are Chinese.
International schools then?
Yeah, international schools, training centers.
Okay. For the international schools, how are they using your service? What do they use your service for? What kind of problems do they have they're using your service to solve?
They use it to manage their student database, to manage everything, the schedule management, the statistics. You get a dashboard with all the main numbers. They use it for the social features. We got a lot of comments on the class lives that I showed. It's really impressive. At first, when we launched that feature, we were not really sure, is it gonna work or no? Actually, it's run crazy.
So did you sell the service to each school one by one? You
Yep.
put up, they...
Exactly. Right now, we are too small to actively promote the product. That's why we try to raise some fund. Right now, we just cherry pick which school might need our software, and we go to them, and usually they take it.
So in Beijing, what would be which schools, your non-schools are using your service?
In Beijing, we got Alliance Française. I don't know if you know the French Education Network to teach French and cultural events. We are also working with some international schools.
Such as?
BCIS.
BCIS is using your service?
And the French high school. No, BCIS are not yet using my service.
But they're testing it?
Yeah.
Okay. If you can get PCIS, they're very legitimate, and they have a lot of students.
That's one of my first goals.
That's your goal, to tackle a big elephant.
International courses, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Simple question. You said you try to generate $20,000 per month.
Yeah.
So that means how many? What's the price for? Do they buy it by license, or you provide the service?
I forgot that part in my presentation. Actually, it's right now we got 3,000 simultaneous students per month. One student is $0.79. If we want to reach $20,000 per month, we need to achieve the goal during the first year of 25,000 students simultaneous per month.
Okay, thank you very much, David.
Thank you.
Before I begin my pitch, I actually want to do a quick survey among the audience. First of all, I want to ask, how many of you are having trouble getting a taxi or getting around in Beijing? If you can raise your hand, that would be great. Okay, quite a significant number. And how many of you are willing to carpool or share a taxi with someone from here to your next destination after this event today? Okay, still quite a significant amount of people. So yeah, we do have a car as well, and if you are going to the east or Sanlitun area, please ping me afterwards so we can share the journey. So, okay, great. So why are we doing this, right? My co-founder and I, we're all used to live in the States, but when we first saw the traffic jam in China back in 2010, we thought, this is crazy, you know. We have the worst traffic in the world, and more than 70% air pollution are from vehicle emission, and more than 70% of cars are driven by one person alone. And on top of that, Beijing has the worst commute in the world. So we were like, well, how can we use a market-based solution to solve this problem? So we decided all buy a one-way plane ticket and fly to China to found Wadacha. Wadacha is a social carpooling platform for corporate employees. So for instance, our first customer are IBM, and the employee at IBM can use our service to find other colleagues so they can share ride to work together. And you can see, this is our iPhone app, and you can see other riders in a similar location. Most of them are firm verified, so basically means IBM employee can carpool with the Baidu employee, can carpool with the Lenovo employee, especially in Zhongguancun area. In this building, you know, we have Adobe and Google as our client as well. So, so they can post a ride on our platform, and it will automatically do a matching for you based on your route. And you can view that person's social profile, such as where he worked, which department, which school he went to, and even his hometown. So afterward, you can just send a simple request, and we'll send a text message to the other person. And once he accepts, and we'll send both the phone number, and then you can contact each other to carpool afterwards. So Wadacha is very easy to make your commute more fun and more efficient, right? So currently, we're focusing on the commute market, right, by cooperating with the firms. But our product plan is to tackle the commute, long distance, such as during Chinese New Year, and event-based carpool. For instance, like today, right? There's a lot of people leaving at the same time after the events. On a Friday night, it'll be very difficult to get a taxi, and then eventually we want to go into real-time carpool. So about our team, you know, there's me, my co-founder James sitting over there, and I know him since the end of high school. He kind of also came to China with me, left his house and car in the US, and used to work as a product manager at Microsoft. And our third co-founder, Jeff, gave up his full scholarship PhD program and went to Berkeley, did computer science, electrical engineering, used to work at Apple and Microsoft. So we are all very committed to solve this problem. And when I saw the traffic jam in China, I actually changed my master thesis to write about car sharing in China. And afterwards, I bought a one-way plane ticket against my parents' wish to come here. So with our market, right, ultimately we believe that not everyone in China can have a car like in the US, right? If you have more than 1 billion cars, there's nowhere to park it. Beijing already has the worst traffic in the world. So for us, our vision is that the future for China is sharing, not ownership, right? So everyone will have a smartphone in the future, and everyone will have a local transportation need. If we combine both, it will have a very disruptive potential. And transportation industry has not been disrupted by technology as much. So more than 7% of personal consumption goes to vehicle transportation, and by 2020 that will be 15%. So this is $1 trillion market. If we can make just a small amount of this to be online and through our platform, Wadacha can be a unique leader in shaping this new automobile revolution in China. So thank you. So I hope you can share a ride with us and find us to carpool. Thanks.
Thank you, Eric.
was really to have the feeling of a book, right? We like to flip the pages, but a book can be boring. You don't have much rich media. You don't have the social part. So that's what we try to recreate. So we did that in 2 days. So we didn't have much time to do some study market. We didn't really think about business models. Still, we have a few ideas, so I'm going to share them with you. So for the markets, one of them could be educational markets. So teachers and schools could create some books and share to their students. So the students can read their classes, test themselves, as I've shown with the quizzes. Another could be the content publishers, so they can create books that they can sell. Another market could be marketing and sales, so you can create a brochure about your company or the products you are selling, so you can just show that on your iPad to your customers. As business models, we could think about monthly subscriptions or to let publishers sell books and get a cut on that. So for the team, we are a terrific team of developers. We love great softwares with great designs. We love to use cutting-edge technologies. And yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions, feel free. We'll be happy to answer them.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Team Kluk from the hackathon.
First of all, I wanted to say the UI looked very good. I mean, that's really astonishing what you built in 2 days. That's a good job, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
My parent company owns Random House, which happened to be the largest book publisher in the world with the most books each year. So this is definitely something very interesting for them. I'm sure they should take a look at this. But I like your approach of marketing brochure or maybe even education as well. I mean, yes, Apple has a solution out there for teachers to also create textbooks, but I think there's still some time before students in class, everyone has an iPad. I think we still having something that is HTML5 that could work on an Android might be there. But I mean, you definitely have something there. I definitely like it.
Thank you. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for your feedback. Bye.
Okay, so Bill Tai from Charles Rivers Ventures, coming all the way from Hawaii. You were in Hawaii, right?
Yes, I was in Hawaii.
But you're based in Silicon Valley otherwise. That's really great to have you here. Okay, Dave McClure, please. All the way from Brazil via California. Please take a seat. Take a seat. Charles Peng. Great to have you here. Vice President of Merger and Acquisition at Tencent. Hi. Hey, Zhiwei. Yeah. GSR Ventures. Great to have you on board. All right, so who's next?
Where's...
You're next.
Oh, Ryan. We'd like to welcome to the stage Ryan Rogowski for Travel Abroad.
Translate abroad.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to start the video when I do it? Hey guys. So I'm Ryan Rogowski from Translate Abroad, and we translate Asian languages on your mobile phone. So I'm going to start with a quick story. So last week I was on this kick-ass trip called Geeks on a Plane. I was in Mexico City, and I thought with my pro Spanish I could order a classic Mexican burrito. So I see salchicha on the menu, and I order it, and 10 minutes later I get this plate full of disgusting Oscar Mayer wiener and canned bologna and olives. So traveling abroad when you don't speak the local language can be frustrating and intimidating at times, but this problem really shouldn't exist. Translate Abroad is solving this problem. So imagine if you could hover your smartphone over any foreign language text and instantly see the translation in your native tongue. We've done this with our first application, Wigo. It allows you to hover your smartphone over Chinese text and instantly see the English translation. So we're building an augmented reality translation platform that will work on smartphones, tablets, and augmented reality goggles. And we're going to expand it to all the prominent Asian languages. So as you can see from the demo, we already have the Chinese, and then we have the Korean and Japanese prototypes in our video here. So this sounds like an awesome product, but who does it matter to? So let's take a look at the smartphone adoption. Last year, there were over 500 million smartphones shipped around the world. That's a lot of smartphones, but it's not just the smartphones. It's the fact that travel in Asia is growing. Over the next 5 years, there will be over 200 million unique visitors within Asia. That includes China, South Korea, Japan, and Thailand. That's a lot of people. So you may be wondering who else might be in this space. Well, there's a couple competitors in the augmented reality translation space. Some of us may have heard of the Google Goggles app, which allows you to upload an image and get a result. But it's slow, requires internet, and it doesn't really work well on Asian languages. Then our next closest competitor is WordLens. They do Spanish and French translation, but their algorithm is fundamentally different because it works on Romance language text as opposed to Asian language text. So why is Translate Abroad special? Well, all of our technology is built in-house. Everything from our character recognition to our translation algorithm to our graphics algorithm that does the text replacement. And it's not just that, but the fact that we focus on functionality and practicality for the traveler. Because we understand that the customer just wants to know what the hell is going on in front of them when they're lost and frustrated in a foreign country. So how are we going to make money with this? Well, we have one stream of revenue, which is in-app purchases. So the free app will include one-line translations of food menus. So that's what we have in our Chinese application in the App Store now. But then the paid version will include all context and multiple lines of translation. So who's the awesome team behind this? Well, we've got 3 people with significant experience in Asia. 2 of us have master's level education in image processing, and 1 of us has over 1 year of iPhone development experience. So we're raising $500,000 in order to scale faster so we can release our Japanese and Korean applications into the App Store within the next 3 months. And we'd also like to bring on a full-time marketing teammate to grow our customers to 50,000 within the next 12 months. So that's Translate Abroad.
Thank you very much, Ryan.
Yep.
So I guess I was fortunate to spend 10 days with Ryan down in Latin America over the last couple of weeks, although I didn't realize you were working on this as much until maybe we just chatted about it a little bit at the end. Seems like a really amazing product. I've seen the WordLens video demo before, and I was quite impressed with that company as well. I guess maybe just a quick question. So, you know, English speakers traveling abroad doesn't seem to be as large a market opportunity as maybe Asian travelers in the US, but I don't know if you can address both of those markets similarly, or it's more attuned to recognizing and translating Asian character sets.
Yeah, so the first recognition algorithm that we've built, we've been able to train it for Chinese, Korean, and Japanese. I actually personally know the WordLens founder, Otavio Good, and they've done the English recognition technology, which is not, it's a challenge, but it's something that we'd be looking to build within the next year to year and a half.
How do you get customers for the current product, and where do you see kind of your channels for acquisition coming from in the next kind of year or so?
Yeah, so it's somewhat of a chicken and egg problem, because what we're targeting is partnerships with some of the bigger travel organizations like Fodder's Guide. Lonely Planet actually has this really shitty app that supposedly does voice translation. So we're building up a customer base so that we can pitch them a potentially either white label product or a marketing partnership. But we'd like to partner potentially with JetSet if they have enough traction for their travelers to Asia. But that's what we're looking at for customer acquisition partnerships. Yeah.
I really do love the product. It's very, very cool. I'm curious, though, so how do you make this, so what do you think the outcome for your company might be on the current path that you are? Do you think you could make it really big? And if you do think you could make it really big, what are the couple things, partnerships, other things that you could do to make this thing very, very large?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. One is the expansion to customized business solutions. So as more and more companies do business in China, Southeast Asia, they're looking for ways to integrate more into the culture. And so we've actually been approached by, like there was a law firm that was saying if they had some simple way to figure out all the Chinese documents, like which ones were which, so they could give it to their translators, that's a customized solution we could build. Then there's hotel management firms that are dealing with crazy like Chinese leases, but if they could just have simple ways to sort through the paperwork before they just give a huge stack to all these translators they have on site. So that's one way. And then the other thing is, so some people may be aware of Google's augmented reality goggles. So we see this augmented reality trend as something that will start picking up over the next few years. And the growth of smartphones has really allowed us to have a way to build up this platform and technology and collect data so that our translations and recognition results are very accurate when the time comes for those platforms to really be big.
I think this is a very interesting product. Definitely, there is needs out there.
Are you the Tencent guy? Or
Yeah.
So the Omni Eye, or
yeah, I'm from Tencent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I've been using similar products like Google Translate, Kingsoft, Zhiwei, this kind of thing. But based on my own experience, this kind of machine translation can be very accurate, and sometimes the results can be very bizarre. So I'm wondering, how accurate is your technology?
Yeah, so one of the ways we've been able to make it more accurate is the targeted use cases.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say building customized business solutions. So we know that a typical traveler faces a lot of problems ordering food, faces a lot of problems seeing signage, and faces a lot of problems seeing brands. And since those are the places we'll focus the translations, the user experience will be better because what's translated will be something that we've predicted.
Yeah, makes sense. One more question. I assume you will, enable the users to use your technology, when they are not online, right?
Right.
So
sorry, I didn't mention it's all offline.
You're all offline, right?
Right.
So you will have a pretty sizable database. So how big would be the client?
So the app is actually not bigger than Evernote. It's 17 megabytes, so you can download it on the network. But then the in-app purchases, so once you download the upgrade, that'll just be another over-the-network download.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
This is very cool applications, actually. And to me, this is kind of instant OCR solutions, sounds like. Yeah.
For what?
OCR solution. Instant OCR.
Yeah, so...
Mobile instant OCR. And we see the similar products here in China, but only translate English into Chinese. But I never see such kind of applications translate Chinese into English. So I'm curious about whether, just ask the accurate of the translations, and also perhaps they are kind of OCR license for recognize the Chinese characters. I don't know how you guys are going to deal with all these kind of license issues.
All of our technology is built in-house. So we actually have the opportunity to license out to other companies. So we've actually benchmarked our OCR against Abby is a huge OCR provider, and our Chinese OCR is actually 3 times faster and twice as accurate. So worst case scenario, we take what we have and sell it to Abby for a few hundreds of thousands of dollars. But yeah, so the licensing, we actually could license our software in terms of translations, so what the majority of our competitors do is they source Google Translate for the translation, so they require an internet connection. But the only other app that doesn't do that is WordLens. And so they have a similar approach to us in that they do some pattern matching between grammar and vocab to do the translations. Yep.
All right.
Does that answer your question? I don't know if I...
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we've had an interesting discussion. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm founder and CSO at TataUFO.com. You must be heard of Lily and Hamei if you learned English in China. Today I'm going to talk about a new story of Lily and Hamei. Lily, major in mechanical engineering, has been single for 20 years. Oh, not yet. Please. Okay. Around him, more than 95% of classmates are male. People call Renowang a social platform network for everyone, but for him, it seems like social networking platform for male. Hamei, major in Chinese literature. Lots of her friends talked about their boyfriends, but it sounds like foreign language she has never learned before. She thought about using LBS-based find and flood app like Momo, but it seems like people using it for one-night stand. Then she got on the big online dating website, but she had to give up after finding her divorced uncle on the recommended list. There are so many Lily and Hameis in Chinese campus these days. So we came up with a very simple and easy social dating platform for university students. It matches you with a person every day. It's like one-day deal for dating. Let me show you how it works. After logging on the website, you can see today's match. You are only allowed to see one person a day, so that you can have 24 hours looking into her profile, introduction, and photos. And you can decide whether you want to know about her furthermore. By the way, she's the CEO. Okay, if you like her, you can buy your ticket to send a request. It looks like 火车票 actually. Okay, after buying the ticket, you can send her a personalized request with a short message so that she can understand you furthermore. Okay, after she logs on the website, she also can see me. And she'll also take some time to looking into my profile and self-introduction and photos. Hopefully she can think that, oh, 帅哥 or something here. Actually, she'll get notified that she got a request from me already, and she also can see the messages I've sent just before. If she's also interested in me, she can accept my request, and the real name and context are disclosed to each other, so that real dating can start. Okay, we are Peking University students-oriented team. We have young and passionate 5 members from Peking University, Communication University of China, and other universities. I'm studying finance at Peking University. I had my first startup when I was 14, provided web development service and several management service to companies and individuals. And I also worked for local government in Indonesia for 2 years as an IT consultant. And then I spent half years working for SoftBank Ventures Korea just before getting back to Peking University. And Ashley is the CEO and beautiful lady. You just saw her on the demo. She's doing her master's degree at Communication University of China. She's a great communicator and also a great marketer. Her ability worked very well when she was working for CCTV and Phoenix TV. Her view contributes a lot to our service. As you know, ladies are essential to our service, and they are exactly opposite to technology. We've been working on this service from this February, and we spent a very little amount of money, and we're totally self-funded. We opened our beta service to students from Peking University, Tsinghua University, and Renmin University of China. And now we have like 500 plus users. Although the number is still small, but I'm so excited that daily active user rate on the website is more than 50% high. And it's an interesting number, considering these top 3 university students are much more conservative compared to other university students in China. And last week, we opened our service to 8 more universities in China. So I expect to have much more an active user base until this semester ends. So, So we're here to raise funds, approximately 1.5 million to 2 million US dollar for expansion all across China. And there are 28 million Chinese university students here. And we hopefully, I believe that we can foster the culture of healthy dating all across Chinese university. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Ryan.
How much is the ticket to, if you decide you want to communicate with someone, how much do you charge there?
Okay, you can buy ticket by using virtual currencies. And you can get virtual currencies through your sharing our website on your Renmin or Weibo or something like that. If you don't feel like to, if you don't bother to make money, I mean in terms of virtual currency on our website, they can buy virtual currency by using their cash. Yeah, we have approximately like 5 yuan for one request. But if you buy a monthly ticket, it will cost you like 30 yuan, and you can send like 10 requests in a month.
And how much do you think, I don't know if you have enough data to model this, but how much revenue per person do you think you'll get, on average over some period of time?
Well, so far we didn't start the paid service yet, okay. So I cannot give you the exact number.
Okay.
But actually, it's so active in user base. It's more than we expected.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brian, I guess, as a guy, you probably want, to, match with a girl every day, right? But, for the girls, don't you think it's going to be annoying to them?
Well, in the current website, there are tons of information. They are kind of overwhelmed by the information.
So actually, among your existing users, what percentage of them are girls? What percentage are boys?
Okay, they actually register, in terms of registered user, there are 1 to 3, but
one girl versus 3 boys, right?
No, yeah, but unfortunately there is a 3 men to 1 woman. But there are 2 men have to wait in line until there are another woman get in our database system.
Yeah, and another thing, I'm not sure whether you come from Korea, but based on my own experience in Korea, I know it's not unusual for a Korean man to date a girl, every day. I mean, not the same girl, get 1 girl per day. I actually have friends, who date 1 girl per day for about half a year until he met his wife. So, but here in China, I think it can be very different. And actually, on campus, is the easiest way to find a girl or a boy if you like. So I'm not quite sure how much value would this kind of service add to the students.
Great point. Actually, there are a lot of students who are surrounded by the same sex. In class or in the campus, there's no many opportunity for them to get to know people from different background or different school, because most of Chinese students have to stay in the campus and they stick with their people from same major for 4 years. And although we're matching you with a different person every day, but it doesn't mean that they will also interested in you. So we'll give you many chances to get to know new people.
Okay, thanks.
Just a couple of quick questions. So the 500-person size right now is because you just limited it to 3 initial universities?
Right.
And are the ratio, male-female ratios the same at the other 8 universities you're expanding to?
No, we are now extending more women-oriented university as like foreign language university or communication university of China, and yeah, and Beijing Normal University. It's quite famous for women.
So I have no concern that your application won't satisfy a very strong need. So I'm pretty sure that there's a market for the service. What's kind of the competitive landscape that you're looking at, and how would you differentiate what you're doing from other, either larger services that have larger population base or more niche-focused services that are trying to do personalized matching?
Well, suppose this current website does not serve the demand, exactly the same demand. We provide a new platform for people to get to know new people from different backgrounds. And this current big website, it is not so targeted. Actually, they cover from 19 to 50. So we don't think it's not a big problem with competing with them because their brand is so ruined in terms of many ways. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
My name is Sean Zhang. My project name is Cloud TV. This is our app, is a smartphone. Our product is a TV service on mobile smartphone. Our service aggregating the small and middle-sized content providers and put it on the platform we called Cloud TV. What is special about our product? Firstly, you watch TV service on TV set at home. With our service, you can watch it on smartphone. It means you can watch it anywhere with internet access. For instance, coming here, the investors who come from the US and attending this conference, but he wants to watch his hometown's news TV channels, and he can watch it on his smartphone in Beijing. The second of why this is special is because we can provide more content than a package provided by any cable TV operators. So far, we have been providing over 200 TV channels in 5 languages: it's Arabic, Cantonese, Mandarin, and Cantonese, Mandarin, India, and Pakistan. So, people may ask me, how does it work, right? How really can you gather so many content? I'm explaining it. You may know right now the TV service industry is changing because of internet. The content provider of the TV service, they are providing the TV service by internet. For instance, a content provider of TV service in Toronto, they providing the content normally is for their local community. But right now, they are able to providing TV service by internet. It means they are able to provide a service who anyone is in London, Beijing, or Shanghai. It is a big opportunity for them, right? We aggregate their content and put it on our platform, which is called Cloud TV. And then we transfer it to the smartphone users. So why we pick smartphone? Because obviously it's a huge market with a fast growing, right? But more important, for TV service, traditional TV service, smartphone user means new users and new market. It is an emerging market for TV services, and it's a huge potential. Okay, how we make money from this service? we make commission of the sale that the content provider sell the content to the subscribers, as well as we put advertisement on the cell phone screen and the platform. I have been in this industry, I mean the internet TV industry, for over 5 years already. It was since 2007 as one of the earliest. I know internet TV industry and the industry of the manufacture of devices. My co-founder, Junior Beauty, he's a French engineer. He built the platform, and we sent the beta version to some of the small and middle-sized content providers located at North America and Southeast Asia. They loved it because it solved their problem, and it helps them to approach to the new subscribers. Also, we offer our apps to the manufacturer of devices, like the tablet, smartphone, and the internet TV set-top box. They recommend it to their end user, and the end user loved it too, because they can watch live TV streams on their devices, but before they cannot do that one. So right now, we are working on the final version of this service, which is going to be released in the next month. And I come here as I'm going to looking for raise the fund, 2 million RMB. This investment is going to be spent on hiring new technicians, I mean engineers, and the marketing budget, who is going to spend on recruiting more content providers. That's it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Sean. We'll proceed with the questions.
Hello.
Hi, is there anything special that needs to be done on the encoder side? So you have the application on the client, but is there do you have a PC software encoder, or is it, how do you get the content, how do you bring the content into the system?
Yeah, this is good question. As I mentioned in this speech, I mean, the TV service provider, they launched their TV service in internet already. They are professional service provider, so all these jobs, they are done by themselves. We don't provide any coding or anything else, you know. As being the streaming from their server directly to a subscriber's smartphone. So we just, we don't host the stream. We just list the links in our platform.
Okay, so you're presuming that you will work only with content providers that have already chosen to live stream all the time, so
Exactly.
they're always running.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
and are you watching it at the same time that they're streaming, or do you cache it, time shift, or anything like that?
Okay, time shift. So far, we only provide the list. We don't provide the time shift yet. Maybe the next step, we're going to provide time shift, or maybe they are going to time shift. Definitely, some of the content providers have had such kind of service already, right? So far, yeah. But we just want to focus on one function, make it good enough. It's the quality of the product is good enough, yeah.
Very, very simple question. Have you ever think about, you know, the future landscape of competition? Like, you know, someday Google, you know, Apple, you know, they have Apple TV, Google TV, and they have agreements with all the, you know, TV stations.
Yeah.
And they can, you know, Apple can obviously sell it through iTunes.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah, this is a good question too, yeah. You know, it's very hard to answer this question, though. But I think this business environment, you know, the industry chain is combined of many companies too. So maybe Google and some other content provider of the competitors, they aggregate content on their platform. But for content providers, no, this question is actually, the answer is like this way, sorry. The Google, the competitors is not us, you know. Their competitors, like for example, there's Google TV, Apple TV, their competitors is a hardware manufacturer instead of us, you know. Yeah, Apple TV, sorry, I insist on my answer. Apple TV provides the device. It's named Apple TV. So the consumer is going to buy Apple TV, right? So how is the other manufacturers, they need a solution to compete Google TV or Apple TV too, right? Because everyone want to unique and differentiate product. But who can help them to that want? Because the hardware manufacturer, most of them, they want to invest on this software or maybe platform, but we provide a solution to them. That's the reason why right now we can embed all apps to these manufacturers of devices, like the pad, or maybe tablet, or maybe phone, smartphone, etc. That is my answer. Thanks.
I'm sorry to say that what we are doing is very tough business in China, because this is kind of high capex, intensive capex, and also higher cost for acquired content here in China. So this is got to be a very tough business in China. And this is one reason. Another is that there are a lot of competitors. One of the competitors here, set aside here, is Tencent.
Yeah.
And also Qihyi,
Exactly.
And it's very easy for them to aggregate the live TV contents or live TV broadcast contents very easily.
Yeah.
As long as they feel it's necessary or they feel it's affordable to do the business, then they will definitely, because there is no kind of a barrier or value or let me say, it's very hard to find the kind of core competence from you guys to deliver the service.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I think you have done a lot of research on internet TV, but this industry right now, what you said is correct. This is a complicated, it's industry and very competitive. But I think right now our focus is different. We provide service to global market instead of domestic Chinese market. That is the core. This is very different. Yeah. For Chinese, sorry, just 1 more minute. Yeah. For Chinese domestic market, there is highly, controlled by the government, so it's not easy to do. But don't forget why we can do this business in China instead of any other country. We could be because of the central position of this industry. I mean, the electronics manufacturer. You may know 90% of the electronics manufactured in China, especially in Shenzhen, right? So everyone who is our subscriber, they want to use the smartphone, the set-top box, and the Android device. They 90% manufactured in China. So we are at a very good position to do this business, right? But I don't think QQ or any other competitors, they are going to do, Chinese companies, they are going to do global market right now because, I think the domestic market is good enough. And also, this industry, they need this industry, manufacturer device, they need a lot of solution provider instead of any one can control that one. Yeah, that's sort of answers. Maybe you can explain later.
Yeah, I don't want to build too much on the criticism, but I do want to. I am an investor in TVU Networks.
Okay.
If you know that,
I saw you read me. Yeah.
Yeah, and TVU has some interesting technology that does handle the encoding side and rebroadcasting all that. And I think for you, I just want to caution you to think through what you do, because if you go down this path, it is not an easy path. And I think if you don't have some time shifting there and you're relying on foreign content, it's going to be in the middle of the night. The programming times, the time of day is an issue. The rights are an issue. TVU got shut down here for obvious reasons. I think the encoding, and if you're presuming that you're going to work with stations that are already broadcasting to the internet, then your value may be in navigation, kind of a directory of streams. But if it's a high value channel that's already broadcasting, you're going to get a lot of people that just go straight to that channel through a browser. And so, or there's going to be YouTube channels set up too. So I think you probably have some interesting technology, but I try to figure out what your technology is really good at that other people can't do, and try to find an application for that is not kind of boiling the ocean here, because this is a very hard ocean to boil.
Sorry. Yeah, I have to say this business case is not good at this technology. I mean, it's not say very advanced technology there. We say this is a business model, and why I think this is a good business case is because we are going to build up the subscriber base. It's very easy because this marketing size is huge. The smartphones there are 1.6 billion and plus 55 millions of the tablet. So it's very easy. We can build up the business subscriber group. It's bigger than any cable TV operators right now. So far, we aggregate over 200 TV channels, including Arabic one, Cantonese one, everyone there. So we have had several thousands of subscribers, and they pay for us. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Sean. That was all the time we had for your questions.
Thank you.
To start off, I really hope to show everybody something the world has not yet seen. Hopefully that will wake people up. And second of all, I'll be standing quite close to you fine gentlemen because I can't see too well right now. Okay, so by way of self-introduction, my name is Chad Liu. 我的中文名字是刘健. I was born in China, grew up in the United States, and I speak both languages fluently. I have a BS in computer science from the University of Michigan and a BA in international piracy. Sorry, that was a joke that Anthony wanted me to add in there. I recently had eye surgery, so I'm not a pirate, not really. Okay, and as for my team, I'm actually very proud of my team. Please take a bow, guys, if you can. I have my CMO with us, Adriana Lika, speaks 11 languages. Very impressive. University of Toronto. I'm sorry? Humble, fine. Okay, and then we have Jennifer Lim, MBA from Peking University and also Seoul National University, and also my college buddy from University of Michigan. We've known each other for, wow, 14 years. Crazy. And we have Mark Downing, Global SEO for Dell Digital Global. These are just a few of the team members that are with us today. So, Sir Anthony, if you will, please. Actually, no, can you stop the video just really quick? Let me introduce the platform slightly. It's an online to offline platform that will enhance and also facilitate social and commercial interactions. Now, it's actually serving two business needs, or actually two needs, or two types of users. One, you may have your average user, which could be looking for friends or people of common interest. Or two, you could be a business user, a small to medium-sized business user, to advertise onto the platform a channel previously non-existent. Minus say Baidu, right? But we do not do cost per click. So just want to add that in. Anthony, please. Thank you. Alrighty. I can barely see this. I'm sorry. Okay. As you can see, I've already logged in here, and on top are the menus, the main menus that's probably pretty new to the world because, which is why we have explanations, right? On the left, you have our official Weibo, which tells little funny stories or functions about the website. So we're very tightly integrated with Weibo, and just by word of mouth alone, we've gotten 10K users, active 20K registered users. We went live on February 29th, 2012. Now here, everything are user need driven. You want to buy something, you want to sell something, or you want to just say something to the world, right? And here what we have is like look around. By looking around, you see the map by IP, we know exactly where you are. As we know, we're in Beijing. So they can look at each balloon, mouse over, excuse me, and see what each balloon is actually doing, right? Buying something, selling something, or trying to make a friend. And, oh wow, this jumped way too fast. Okay, so here, as you can see, this is a very fun part. Anthony, could you stop on that page just for 1 second? So sorry. I've been developing this for the last 10 months, so we have quite a more bit of functions than first anticipated. Okay, so the previous screen, you saw that there were 3 circles. Why 3 circles? I think this is something the world has not yet seen because you can create 3 geographic circles for now, right? And with these 3 geographic circles, you can essentially be at 3 different places at once. Now, this is something new. We have Momo, we have Weixin, we have whatever, right? But you only see the people around you on a mobile app. But here, you can be at multiple places at once. Okay? Now here we have virtual gifts. Now, for instance, if we're trying to get to know somebody or whatever, right? You might want to send them a little gift before a really hardcore, hello, may I have your phone number? So this is the idea of the virtual gift, and they use coins to actually get these. Simple friends list, right? Just like a social network. And here, recommended friends. This is very important. This is based on the circles that you've created, and you can sort by age, interest, and what have you. And on this page, we can have people invite friends for coins and also share their invitation via all these channels below for more points, right? And the more points they get, the more gifts they can send, the more circles they can create, whatever. Alrighty, so, and on this page is a personal profile. As you can tell here, you can add in your school, your company that you work for, and a lot of interests. So based on these interests, we're self-matching. Green balloons to people, and or people to people. So we have a quite complicated backend algorithm looking through synonyms and what have you. This page is, I can't really tell, I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is back to the main page. And I think what I'm trying to show here is that we've already done localization for Taiwan and Singapore, and Hong Kong, because traditional Chinese is in place. We have a suggestion box for anybody, for users to help us do testing. That's just free testing for us. Okay, was that 2 minutes?
Yeah, you overdid it a little bit, Chad, so...
I'm sorry?
Free to answer.
I'm sorry?
I'm here, Chad. Other side.
Oh.
You overdid it a little bit, so I'd like to proceed with the questions. Do you have a finalizing statement?
On that, or?
Altogether.
Altogether, okay. Now, why am I different? I like to see myself, or the team like to see our platform as the anti-Facebook. Sorry, Ed, if you're here still and watching. I'll explain why later. We're the anti-Craigslist because we have declassified the classifieds. Craig, if you're watching, I'm sorry. And we're the anti-Groupon. Why? Because we do not squeeze the breadth out of small to medium-sized businesses, but rather give them a channel to advertise in a way that's affordable and sustainable.
All right, thank you, Chad.
Chad, glad to see a very ambitious plan here. International expansion for internet companies is extremely hard. You see, very few companies succeed here. International companies. And China, Korea, Japan, and Russia are the most difficult 4 countries for internet expansion. And as a startup, why do you choose to have office? I saw you have office, like you have country head in Singapore, country head in Japan, country head in Korea, and of course you have operation in China, right?
Yes.
So why do you choose, to start?
In China?
From 4 countries simultaneously at the start.
Well, as we can tell, right, everybody will build their own circles, right? And the circles are mutually exclusive from one country to another. So it's not about who you know, it's about who you don't know. So there's no reason. Right now we have spread to every single province in China already, and 15 other countries, just by word of mouth alone. We haven't spent a single dime on marketing. So if it's going to be spreading like wildfire anyways, why not? Let's just speed up the process, right? I hope that answered your question. Thank you.
So I have a real question, but the first question I want to ask is, I have a pair of jeans that looks like that are 19 years old, and I love them. So how old are those? Or did you buy them that way?
No, I'm not like that. Nothing against people who like to buy jeans already ripped. That's totally fine, it's trendy. But these are about 14, 15 years old. Yeah.
Anyway, so you mentioned that you have you spread by word of mouth to every province in China.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about what does that mean? That you have a few users there in every province, or what kind of traction do you have in terms of number? What are the metrics you use to measure business, and how
right
are they
now hits, and also conversion rate. I'm happy to say that our conversion rate is around 10%. Why? Because it's coming from friends inviting friends. Now, if it's a person that you trust or you like inviting you via email, your chances of signing up is quite high. And of course, they're being incentivized by virtual currency, free to us, but to them, it might mean something. They get to be on the top of the page as the rich list or whatever. They get exposure. They can put their Weibo on there to get more fans. It's a win-win situation for everybody. Dave, please hurry.
Dude, I'm sorry. This is just kind of all over the place. I hate to rip on it, but yeah, I don't know. I have trouble understanding kind of what the focus is of where the usage is going to come from. I'm not sure I understand the business model. I would share concerns about size of team and focus right now.
Okay. For instance, earlier we saw a map with balloons, right? Now these balloons are free to put on, right? We will add on self-service, small to medium business advertising accounts. And imagine, they're not going to be balloons. They'll be like billboards, for instance, right? And you click on it, and you see Mr. Wang's dumpling shop, right? And they can have their own number, kind of like Dianping, but more accurate. Because there's so many numbers on Dianping that I tried to call the other day, and nobody answered. I don't know where they got their information from. But if it's self-serving, chances are they're going to make sure they put the right information and the most attractive deal that they think they can afford. So on that same token, we want to give the mom and pop shops a fair fighting chance. That's really the vision of the company. And not just, leave it to the big boys of Starbucks or McDonald's to squeeze them to death. So to them, yes, there's going to be a fee, but it's going to be a very small and affordable fee.
Do we have any further questions? No, then I would like to thank Chad very much.
Thank you.
Hi, judges. Thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate your time. I feel like I should be singing or something. I feel like I'm auditioning for something. Thanks, Anthony. So, my name is Jason Lee. I'm the founder of Xiaoshai. So, I came up with this concept when I had to buy a set of earrings for my wife for her birthday. So, I was running around all these malls in Beijing like a madman. I had no idea where to get these earrings. The funny thing is, I knew that lots of other people had bought exactly the thing that I wanted. The problem is, I didn't know them. I had no way of connecting with them when I needed to then. So I thought, well, how do you use technology to help connect consumers in a much more social way, to make shopping much more social and effective? So Xiaoshai is a mobile social network that lets you share what you buy at the point of sale, at the point of purchase. So say you go into a store and you like something, you enter the product, the brand, the price, the location. LBS will locate you, you take a photo, and you post. Now that post not only goes across our networks, it's also shared to your Douban, your Weibo, etc. So your followers on those social networks will get a notification you bought something, or they can find your product by browsing the different product categories. If they hit the nearby feature, it'll sort the post by location. Those are the closest to you, such as in a mall. So if a user then opens up your product, they can see what you bought, they can open the brand. If they open the location, they can see a map, look at some photos, look at the comments. And then they have two choices. They can say they like it, which is just like a Facebook like, or they can say, I want it. Now the want is distinctive. It is a deeper level of commitment that I like, and it lets us capture purchasing intent. So over a period of time, we will create a wish list of products that user wants. We can then take that purchasing intent and pass it to the merchants who can serve those users or a group of users through the app. So that gives an insight into our business model. We will charge merchants and brands to access the platform through which they can do brand promotion and lead generation and access data. What's in it for the merchants? What this is really about is they can turn their customers into their best advert. Because importantly, it's not the brand sending the tweet, it's their customers doing it for them. It's their customers saying, hey, I just bought this product, this is why I love it, and this is why I'm sharing it with my friends. So what this really is it's us thinking about how do you exploit, how do you monetize the point of sale by encouraging people to share consumption at that point. What is our market? It is aspirational lifestyle consumers. Our focus categories is fashion and beauty. This is a 400 billion RMB business, growing about 15% per year. We like fashion and beauty because it's very sticky, it's very content rich, it's very engaging, it's driven by styles and trends. My co-founder was the editor-in-chief of one of China's best-known lifestyle and fashion magazines. She's had 15 years in the fashion industry. She really understands the space. Our marketing head has had 15 years at Baidu, Tencent, and NetEase. Our CTO is a Taiwanese startup guy. I have a sales and marketing and strategy background. This is my third startup. How are we different from competitors? The most prominent of which are Meilishhuo or Wujie, the Pinterest clones that are around China, LBS services like Jiepang, Foursquare. I think we're different in three key ways. The first is that we are primarily user-generated at the point of purchase. We're truly mobile and social. So our competitors, such as Meilishhuo, as somebody said, they're really platforms, they're web-based. They're really platforms for merchants to place their products to get customers. The second differentiator is we are focused on the product and on the transaction. We're not just focused on the location, and we're not just focused on interests, which means our market data is that much more targeted, it's that much more market relevant, and we think it's that much more valuable. The third differentiator is our positioning. We are focused on medium to high-end, genuine merchants and brands, and that's what makes us different from the Meilishhuos and the Mobiljets of the world. They link to Taobao, which is characterized by lower value at lower price products and a lower value user base. What is the future here? It's three things. We're focused on how to make the sharing process frictionless, number one. Number two, product recommendation. How do we pick the best products to recommend to users based on their past behavior? And number three, mobile payment. We want to see how we own the point of sale. If you can post the product and there's mobile payment, you can just walk right out of the store because you've already paid for it. This has all been self-funded so far. We spent about $100,000 on this. We've been beta testing for the last couple of months, only with a very small group of people, about 20 people. We'll do our launch in about 3 weeks. We're looking to raise $1 million to take us to a Series A in 12 months' time. Our target then is to have 1 million users on the platform, and very targeted users from a particular demographic.
All right, thank you, Jason.
So how do you connect the transaction to the user, and how do you collect payment for that process?
So it's not an e-commerce platform. So right now our intention, because we won't know what the people are buying, so it's impossible for us to go to those merchants first and lay it all out. It's really a lead generator and a brand promoter. So you go to a shop, you post something that you like, and you spread it. So this behavior is happening.
So then just that part of the question, how do you deal with managing lead gen and reporting to the people who would be paying you, and how do you collect from them?
Mm-hmm. So the database is, the back end is really quite simple. It's just simply a database that captures these things, and we can generate reports very easily. So if somebody clicks they like it, it's just a Facebook like, it's clear. If they say they want it, it's a retweet, and we capture those retweets. We can provide that user detail, not their mobile number or their personal details, to the merchant, and then the merchant can send them an offer through the app saying, glad you like our product. If you come in the next 10 days, we'll give you a gift or a discount or something.
And then so you're measuring intent or purchase action after the merchant responds and sends the offer?
I'm sorry?
You're measuring the transaction response after the merchant sends the offer back?
Yes. So we're measuring, so the revenue generators are CPM, so the retweets, all of that. And then there's CPS, so it's the lead generation part. So everybody who clicks, they want it.
I'm sorry. So then you're not actually generating revenue based on actual purchase behavior. It's just based on lead gen to the merchant and the amount of responses that they see.
Yes, currently you don't purchase in-app. We'd like to look at that in the future, but really our revenue generator is through merchants putting products or people who, they're customers, right? So your customer posts something. It's like a shopping Twitter. And then through the social network, if the followers of that customer click want it or like it, then that's a lead. That person says, I want that.
Sorry, again, I must be quite stupid and I apologize, but how are you connecting the individual consumer's posting of that picture with the actual merchant contact information and connecting with the merchant, right? They're posting pictures.
Okay, so at the beginning, they're posting pictures, but they have to input the product name. And from that, it's optional, but they can post the brand, other details as well. And so from that, if the merchant is not already signed up, if we have the aggregated content of more than one person, it's like a group. If more than one person says they want it, we have a group of people through which we can approach the merchant. Or, as it scales, a merchant may choose to sign up beforehand and to encourage their customers to post, because it's like a free SNS network if you post what you buy.
I'll hand the mic over to the folks. I guess my question is still based around how do you get the merchant into the system? Is that complex or simple, and how quickly can you scale? I'm not sure whether that other judges share the same concerns there or not.
Actually, I have a question you build up on Dave's question. So when you collect, the transaction information, I assume you will collect, the price, quantity, this kind of stuff. Do you also collect, picture, this kind of stuff?
Yes. So you take a picture.
Take a picture.
The picture is primary.
Mm-hmm. Let's assume, when someone buy clothing, at Zara, right? And when they were, make payment, waiting in line, after 10 people, and eventually, it's the turn to make the payment. And they're gonna, input all those information, the price, and take a picture, which is the jacket might be, already put in the bag, so and they take it out to take a picture, which seems, a little bit, inconvenient for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What the idea is that you actually can post it before you've paid for it. So one of the ways that we want to encourage people to post is that if you've posted it before you've paid for it, you get a confirmation number and you show the merchant, hey, I've just posted your product. I've got 2,000 followers on Twitter who have just seen your product, and so as a merchant, will you give me some benefit because of that?
What's the benefit for posting all those information for the consumers?
What's the benefit for posting?
Yeah.
There's a couple of things. There's a bunch of people who just post. So, from
yeah,
Weibo, people just like, shut. It's like the people just love sharing their life. Mm-hmm. It's the social reward. That's one. As we scale, we would like merchants to reward people who post, because it's free advertising for them, and it's the best sort of advertising because it's not them posting, it's customer endorsement. It's third party, it's their customers' endorsement telling people they've just bought that product.
Okay, I think this is a very interesting idea, but I also have a question. How do you sign up the merchants? If you want to make the use for the users, you need to sign up like thousands, merchants. How do you make that happen?
So it's push and pull, right? So from a push perspective, if there's a really popular product and we really want to focus on the interesting products, medium to high-end lifestyle, interesting stuff. So if somebody posts something and it goes out there and it goes out into SNS world, say there's 100 people who say, I want it, I like that, I want that product. We have a group, and then we'll go to that merchant and say, hey, we've got 100 people who want your product, they want it now. Why don't you sign up? And we'll let you serve them an offer. So that's the sort of push way.
But before you sign up the merchants, how do you know the users want the products?
Okay, so this goes to my co-founder. So she's a very fashionable woman. So she's been in this industry and she knows people's fashion sense, and we really want to target the aspirational lifestyle consumers, and we want to pick products that are really interesting, really distinctive. And so we have an editor, we'll have an editor-in-chief of our operation, whose job it will be to pick those things that are distinctive, those products that are not your common products, but distinctive products to put on the platform.
But eventually, do you imagine you will have thousands of salespeople to sign up all the merchants everywhere? No?
We don't want to run a Groupon like massive sales force. That's not the intention. what we hope is that through different tools such as Paihangban, such as leaderboards, for instance, if a merchant is not there, say we did a leaderboard for Beijing for smartphones, right? And we can see every time somebody buys a smartphone, we can see how people rank. If Samsung is not there, they're going to go, hey, I want to be on that. I want to be on that leaderboard. But more generally, as merchants see the value of this, not them pushing SNS, but their customers telling their friends, I just bought this product, we feel that this is a really new way for brands and merchants and consumers to interact. It's a very, very new way of interaction.
Makes sense, thanks.
All right, thank you, Jason. Or do we have one more question? One more question.
One more question regarding to how you deal with the offline merchants transactions, or let me put this way: if some kind of some group of people they're interested in kind of products, and you will got to the merchant, are you guys to go in to negotiate with the merchants regarding to the price or discount or whatever?
We may do that. We may say, if the group is big enough, we may say to the merchant, we've got 1,000 people who want this product, so why don't you offer them a discount? It's one way. If it's just a small group, say 2 or 3, we would just tell the merchant, hey, there's 2 or 3 people, we've got a hot lead right now. If you join our platform, we may only charge you a few thousand Kuai a month. We'll give you the ongoing access to those leads. So say once a month you can post, the merchant may be able to post a product on the platform. If somebody sees it and they retweet it, it goes out to SNS land, and every time there's a lead, we will pass that lead on to the merchant, and they can serve the user through the app. They won't have the user's email or mobile number, but through the app the user can get a notification, we're glad you like our product. If you come into our store, or here's our online store in the next 10 days, we'll give you 10% off.
Okay, thank you very much, Jason.
We're a team, we're in video, and then we've been working for the last 2 days on the project. And this is a prototype we just developed. I'll let you know. Okay. And this is a prototype, and it's on a BlackBerry tablet. And our program will work on tablet, and it's focused on tablets. And then I'd like to start with a picture. It's worth 1,000 words, but there's a lot more possibility and information in the video, and we'd like to explore that possibility with you today. Go ahead. Now, as you can see, the video is starting, and then with a slider finger, information will appear on the side about the product you just like. And these are hyperlink, real-time hyperlink you can click on. It will not interfere with the video that's playing. So, and you see, as I slide again, more information appear. And as we know, people like to watch video on tablet and full screen. So as you slide on full screen, it will not interfere with your playback. Information will be there after you exit the full screen. And you can click on this information for products, company logos, more information about anything from the video. I know, and we would like to further share on Weibo, Linen, and possibly more social network if we work on this project. And also, let's see, for the business side of a model, instead of when you start watching videos streaming online, there's annoying ads, and then like the advertisement that not interesting or boring to you. But with this, the user actually acted on the app, and they found products that interest them, and they will buy. So that's the difference between other video programs and ours.
All right, thank you very much. More than video. We'd like to give our great judges another opportunity to talk about this very young idea and maybe ask some questions.
Very simple and quick question. How do you guys build a team, and how serious are you guys about the business?
Actually, I just met some of my team members last day, and he's the team leader, and he gathered us together, and we just come up with this. He came up with this idea, and then we just decided to design this prototype for our project.
Who do you think your customer is? So are you designing this to end up as sort of like a portal, or are you designing it as a piece of technology that you might partner with a bigger company?
It'll be more of a link between the video and other sites, like advertising sites and sites where you can get the product. So possibly YouTube and these kind of big streaming online video websites. And we have worked on it, do HTML5 coding.
Seems really cool. I guess is there an intent to sort of do product placement as the primary business model? Or are you somebody like trying to source the information in the video as something that you can monetize?
I mean, for a business model, we haven't exactly come up with. We've just been talking for the last 2 days, so.
Cool. Looks cool.
All right, no further questions for Team More Than Video. Thank you very much, guys.
Sharing information with others can let us know more than we can with only ourselves and with the help of mobile phone. So actually our idea is not very mature, and so as the movie, because I did it in Keynote and exported it as a video. Okay. Sorry for that, it's running very fast. So future city, one for all and all for one. The problem is that when we go to a restaurant, it's full. When we go to a band, we see many people waiting before us. So what can help us? Who can help future city, but how? Future city, location-based real-time information sharing with users to users. Here's a typical case. Tom hungry on City Road, and with the smart arrangement of UI at the noon and on the road with restaurants, we seems he'd like to find a restaurant, so the restaurant is better than other choices. And we see that these are all meals from restaurants, and those crowded restaurants are dimmed, and it's very easy to find available ones. Even if Tom loves Pizza Hut, so it's crowded, then he can go to Pizza Hut and get a thrill ticket, but he did not have to stand there. He can just go and do something else. No worry about Mr. Tour, because Future City will tell Tom that you see the 30 on that, 30 people are working before him. So where's the information from? Actually, it's from the users. Users share the information. We've done no new way of refresh. Typically, when we talk about refresh, the data is from the server in the database. However, here we send a request to users, and the users can give the feedback. We plan to do all platforms, and we believe in all for one, one for all. Sorry. And so if we want to be with everyone to help be with Future City. Actually, our idea is quite simple. For example, if you are in band, you feel have nothing to do, you are very dull, and why not take out your phone and if any other people, other user want to know if the bench is full, too many people are waiting, he can send a request, and the request will be pushed to your phone, and you can answer to him and let him know the answer. So we think that Future City with the mobile phone, everyone like a sensor can be connected together, and the information sharing can let everyone know much more than they can before. So that's our idea. Thank you. And I know next I will be asked, but as I've said, we committed the idea 1 day or two ago, so it's not very mature. So I'd like to treasure this chance to ask for a gentleman about some questions. Can I? Okay, thank you. So my first question is, if I'd like to make this monetizable, what kind of way can I say? I just think about the pictures of the meals like advertisement war, and we can charge some money and make some.
I'm so interested.
Yeah.
But here, you're not asking the question. They asked the question.
No, the gentlemen have agreed.
Please, let's be fair. Let's be fair. So.
You can actually ask me what my question is. Yeah. Thank you if you do so. Thank you, really.
So I'm not sure if I'm answering or asking a question here. I guess, so is the idea that you're trying to help someone find the shortest line or help the merchant get a customer?
Actually, for the users, they can know whether a restaurant is full or not to get information about it. And for the restaurants, they can, because users see the restaurants nearby through our app.
So the basic idea is connecting customers with local establishments, restaurants or others. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How do you know whether the restaurants are good or not, I guess, or other services?
Many apps have already done that, let users comment on them. And, yeah.
I think that's a very interesting idea. Congratulations, team. You guys created this very great idea in 2 days. Just very quick question. How do you plan to get the first batch of users?
Actually, we are from Tsinghua University, so why not let students share information? Because as a student, my experience that many times I go to find a classroom to do a revision, the classroom is full. Because Tsinghua University students are all working beavers. So why not have this app to tell us whether this classroom is already full or not, so I can go directly to an empty room. Yeah, so I think the user should be...
Makes sense.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a really very fantastic idea. So I'm very interested in learning more later on. Okay.
Okay, thank you.